Hunger and malnutrition are the primary risks to global health, as has been previously stating, killing more people than AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined. I speak today on behalf of CARE, a humanitarian organization that fights poverty and its causes in nearly 70 countries around the world. Our over 60 years of global experience convinces us that we can end extreme hunger and food insecurity around the world if we put in place the right resources, the right strategy, and have a sustained commitment to do so. First, flexibility. There is no one-size-fits-all solution. The effectiveness of both short-term emergency aid and long-term development programs could be greatly improved if donors would allow countries and the organizations working with them to choose the most appropriate, cost-effective approach to responding to any given food security situation. Practitioners should be free to use imported food aid when it's most appropriate, free to purchase food locally or regionally when that would be more appropriate. Shipping food from the United States to developing countries is slow, expensive, and unpredictable, and can take as much as 3 times longer to get food to the people who need it most. The United States is now spending 20 times as much on food aid in Africa as it is spending to help African farmers grow their own food. Gender. We believe it's important to place a special emphasis on investing in girls and women because it's clear that that's the best way to benefit families and move entire communities out of poverty. However, women have not been taken into consideration when programs and policies related to food security are developed. Rural women produce half of the world's food, and in developing countries, between 60% and 80% of food crops, yet only own 1% of farmland. If we are going to have an impact on improving food security and agricultural productivity, it's important that women be placed at the heart of those policies.
On the issue of infrastructure, I was in DR Congo a couple of years ago, and farmers told me that they could grow all that they could possibly want but can't get it to market. What good is it to grow it if you can't get it to the market? And, you know, highways here and the infrastructure of that highway has made it all important as to why we have, I think, our robust economy here. It's one of the linchpins. All of you might want to, or some of you might want to speak to the very important issue of local control of those funds.
Yes. Local control, critically important, and that's why I think each of us in different ways address this issue of flexibility and why it's so important that there be country-driven plans and that countries have the flexibility to decide what their priorities are and to match the different strategies with their own needs. Yeah, that said, that does not mean that all money should be directly transferred to governments, because we also want to make sure that the governments have the capability to be able to administer and implement programs well. That's why organizations like ours work with local communities as well as working with the governments to strengthen their ability to be able to manage programs as effectively as possible. You mentioned the issue of infrastructure like road infrastructure. And again, I think in different ways we've all touched on the importance of making sure that there is coordination on the ground, so that roads are being built in the places that would best support farmers' ability to get their crops to market. So I think this issue of infrastructure is critical.
I think we all agree that what we're doing isn't working, and we definitely need reform. And you know, the things that you're trying to accomplish that you feel like are very important, and certainly those things were very important, the Millennium Challenge account, PEPFAR, and things, in responding to a crisis. So how do you deal with that? I'm just interested in what you guys think we need to do.
I think you're also asking more broadly about our whole kind of foreign assistance industry, if you will, and the reality that we fragmented it perhaps for a reason. And I think this effort, in many ways, is an effort that can be a harbinger, a cutting edge for how we can do development better and our foreign assistance overall in a better way. And I think one of the things that we've lacked in the past is an overall comprehensive plan. And so I think first and foremost, we have to have some sense of where do we want to go with our foreign assistance, what do we want to accomplish in development, have a plan that then all the agencies can work off of, and there can be a much greater and much more coordinated effort. We definitely want to make sure we're building the kind of capacity so that ultimately communities and populations can feed themselves and be sufficient in food and agricultural productivity. Join us in making an impact in 2009 on these and many other issues important to solving global poverty. Join the CARE Action Network by going to can.care.org. Thank you.